What is the origin of a jiva? Part 2. Are all the jivas of the same age? Have they had the same number of lifetimes as jivas? Interesting. That would be interesting if all the jivas were of the same age. Origin of the jivas. The definition of the jiva is that which doesn't have origin. No start date. Oh, that means no end date? No, end date is possibly there, depending on whether that individual jiva pursues the knowledge or not. What jiva doesn't come to an end, jivatvam comes to an end. Jivahood, jivaness. And so the jiva has no origin. This is actually good, because if jiva had an origin, so what is we can say what is the cause of the jiva? Atma Ajnanam. So then if jiva had an origin, Atma Ajnanam, self-ignorance also needs an origin. And self-ignorance, if it has an origin, then what was there before self-ignorance? Self-knowledge. Then if self-knowledge is replaced by self-ignorance, what are we doing here? That means if we gain this in the next 15 days, if we gain Atmajnanam, then it can any point in time be replaced by what? Ajnanam. So sad. And so therefore, we cannot have the jiva, either the jiva or Ajnanam have a start date. They both have an expiry date. Thank God. They both have a shelf life. Expiry date is there, but the date of manufacture is not there, because the jiva is not a manufactured entity. It's just a fractured entity, not a manufactured entity. It is the same as Ishvara. It has somehow turned its face away because of its association and identification with self-ignorance and its broods, loneliness, alienation, sorrow, fear. It thinks it is separate from everything else. That separation is unreal, mithya. It at best enjoys a dependent reality. And so that separation is mithya. Atma Ajnanam is also what? Mithya. And so therefore, these don't have a start date. And so, any number of lives, in any number of kalpas, in any number of yugas, any number of jivas. So obviously, everybody will not be of the same age. And in fact, we make this distinction even in English when we look at a baby and spontaneously say, he or she is an old soul. This is people who don't even know Vedanta. Somehow spontaneously that baby is showing wisdom beyond its years. How did it get that? How did it get to be so mature or so wise at such a small age, 1 or 2 years old? How did it do that? Obviously, it has had some other lifetimes, and it is a quote-unquote old soul. Like even the white-haired sages sitting under Lord Dakshinamurti. Sanaka, Sanandana, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata. So they're all quote-unquote old souls. Meaning, been there, done that, and also there is a certain maturity coming out of those many, many lifetimes. So, jiva doesn't have age because it's just been around, and so that is not the age, because the age of the jiva is what? Is only in association with a particular body, mind, sense complex. Then only you start counting. Baby is born, 0 years, and then what? 6 months, then 1 year, 2 years, like that. So the age is relevant only when there is an embodiment, and that which is embodied is what is aging, correct? That is subject to age. So this is how we say. So not all jivas are of the same age, obviously. So if there are old souls, there are also what? Young souls. And we see that as well. The person can be 92 age-wise, but then 12 in terms of one's emotional maturity. So that way it's not the same age, and no origin. Anadi is the word. And then have they had the same number of lifetimes? No, that also varies. We don't know. And not only do we not know, we'd rather not find out. Imagine if we knew, each of us in this room itself, if we knew how many lifetimes we've had before, and each time how many mistakes I made, and each time how many people abandoned me, and each time how many people I abandoned, then we won't even be able to get out of bed, out of the fear, regret, sorrow, etc. So Bhagavan has put a nice curtain, thicker than the iron curtain, proverbial iron curtain, in between the life as jiva number 1, jiva number 2, not even human jivas, cat, dog, rat, globum, from globum onwards, so many things, bacterium, everything. So there is an iron curtain between one life and the other, because certain things we would like to keep it that way. In a way, it is a fresh start. You don't have to think about the past at all. There is a refreshing thing. But the past will come somehow, because there is this sense of, what is that French term? Déjà vu. Déjà vu means, I have been here before, but I can't remember. I have done this before, but I can't remember. And that vague sense is there. And then that's enough. That's enough to lead the life. That's more than enough. Continuing. So, we looked at 3 different kinds of tyaga at the beginning of the chapter, correct? Yes? Hello? Yes, yeah. So then, 3 different kinds of tyaga, 3 different kinds of jnanam based on the gunas, 3 different kinds of karma we are looking at right now. We are looking at the 3rd topic, 3 different kinds of karma. And then in that we finish the sattvika karma. And what is sattvika karma? That which is done on time, that which is done according to dharma, etc., etc. We know the whole drill. And that where the raga dveshas are not involved. Strong preferences and prejudices are not involved. And then one is not a karma phala-holic. One is not completely fixated with the results of the action. Then let us look at the rajasa and tamasika kinds of karma described in 24 and 25. Yattu kamepsuna karma sahankarena va punaha kriyate bahulayasam tadrajasamudahritam. Straightforward enough. It should, rajasic action fulfills a few conditions. What are they? It's the opposite of sattvic. Whereas in the sattvic action, there was no desire for there was no fixation, let us put it this way, on the results of action. Here what? there is a fixation. The results are very, very important in any kind of a rajasic undertaking. The undertaking becomes rajasic, especially when there is a fixation. It's the fixation on this is exactly how I want it to be, and I'm not going to accept any other thing. That is what makes it difficult for the person who is doing the action and for the others around them also, because there is not a single little bit of a elasticity, flexibility is not there, because they are somehow tied up in the result, in the expectation. And then of course that which expects is what? The ahankara. The I notion is very strong in rajas. In a rajasic actor or action, the I notion being extremely strong and identified with the doer, and so therefore the action and the doership being very, very strong identity. So the ahankara is flying high, and if the ahankara is burdened with kartritva buddhi, meaning with the idea that it is the doer, if the ahankara is totally burdened, then it cannot relax. It will always be stressed. And that leads to the third situation, which makes it rajasic, bahula ayasa. Ayasa means what? Exhaustion. Too much hard work, too much exhaustion, because there is a frenetic, frenzied effort to get things done. And then what? And such people, when they go to the doctor will prescribe Vedanta classes. Please listen to Gita. Please do some meditation. Because they are fried. The brains are fried. They have put themselves in a terrible situation and cannot get out of this role of the doer. Pujya Swamiji used to tell a story of a policeman. And the policeman came home. And as soon as he came home, the wife said, "Daddy has come, Daddy has come." All the children, 3 of them, went to their rooms and hid because they were afraid. The poor fellow was a bundle of nerves. Catching thieves all day is not a nice job, and so was very stressed out. And then what? And then he came home, and only the wife was there. And then what? Then the children just went and hid, and Swamiji found that very intriguing. Swamiji had gone for bhiksha, and the policeman also came home for lunch to greet Swamiji. And Swamiji said, "I have lots of time. Why don't you relax, get out of your uniform?" He said, no, I like my uniform. I want to stay in uniform. And then what did he do? To summon the children, he took the whistle out of his pocket and went, "Fee!" And the children, very scared, they came, they looked here, okay, what have we done wrong? And very afraid, they sat around the dining table. Swamiji was watching all this, and then he said, invited him one more time. "No, relax, get into your pajamas, come, I'll wait." No, he said, "I like this." And Swamiji asked, "Why do you like this?" He said, "Because people will listen to me." So you see, this is how it was. The insecurity inside somewhat brings the rajas out, where there is no difference between the role and the person. In fact, the role depends on the person. Role is the person, but the person is not the role. Here the obfuscation is complete. Role is the person, but the person is not the role. If the role rolls on to the person, then we are in trouble. And so then Swamiji had to have a talk with him and say, really, because you're wearing the uniform at home, you are feeling like you're catching thieves. And your own family is full of all wrongdoers. That's what is happening. And it was a great revelation for him. He hadn't even thought of this. And then he became a very, very changed person just by changing the uniform after coming home and leaving the role at the gate of the house. And so like this here, in the rajasic action, there is just so much caught up in the result of action that there is this particular result. So the role of the actor becomes one with the person, And if the person is the actor all the time, it gets stressful and extremely tiring. This is the Rajasic action marked by fixation with the results of action and a lot of I notion as the actor and lot of stress and ayasa, effort. And then what is tamasic action? Anubandham, kshayam, himsam anavekshya cha paurusham mohad arabhyate karma yat tat tamasam uchyate. So, anubandham kshayam himsam anavekshya. Anavekshya means not seeing. Not seeing what? The natural set of circumstances. Not seeing the natural set of circumstances. What is that? First is paurusham. Paurusham means what is my capacity to do something? What are my limitations? This is paurusham. Paurusham doesn't mean manliness or manhood here. Paurusham means just the human capacity. What is my capacity? Am I capable of this, or is this the right time to do this, or is it not? This is the one condition. Okay, and then what else? Himsa. Next one. Himsa means injury. Injury, which also includes any kind of a loss. Injury to whom? Myself. If I am not an Olympic weightlifter and then suddenly I want to enter the Olympics, this is terrible. Because I've had no practice, I have no idea of my capacity, and naturally it will result in injury not only to myself but also to others. As I try to lift some weight or so, which is beyond my training, beyond my capacity. So that is the idea. And then, so this is the thing which hasn't taken into consideration all the things. The anubandha means the natural outcome of the capacity, injury, other consequences. And then, so why has this start? Why did this person do it? Mohat. Here moha means impulsively, because of being deluded. Not much thought went into it. Suddenly felt like doing something, did not see the antecedents, did not see what comes before, what comes after, and suddenly said, I'm going to take this up. Why are you going to take this up? I don't know, I just feel like it. And so this is a kind of an impulsive, ill thought of action which is going to have bad effects on the person who is the actor and also on others. Such a thing is called what? Tamasic. Okay. And then what? So we have finished 3 types of karma, 3 types of jnanam. Then the next he takes up 3 types of karta. Personally, between you and me, these 3 verses were not even necessary. Because if you do karma, if you do the 3-fold distinctions of karma, isn't the karta included? I mean, we have been discussing this, but we have been discussing also the karta. Because the karma without karta does not stay. How can we discuss action without the actor? Action and actor are connected. But nonetheless, for some reason, Lord Krishna saw it fit and Vyasa saw it fit to add 3 more verses talking about the nature of the karta. So then, this one, the next 3 verses we will chant. 26, 27 and 28. Mukta sango naham vadi. Mukta sango naham vadi. Vrityutsaha samanvitaha. Vrityutsaha samanvitaha. Siddhya siddhyo nirakaraha. Siddhya siddhyo nirakaraha. Oh, nirvikaraha. Siddhya siddhyo nirvikaraha. Siddhya siddhyo nirvikaraha. Karta Karta Satvika Uchyate. Ragi Karma Phala Prepsuhu. Phala Prepsuhu. Okay. Ragi Karma Phala Prepsuhu. Lubdho himsatmako shuchihi. Harsha shokanvitah karta. Rajasah parikirtitah. Ayuktah prakritastabdhah. Shatho naishkriti kosalah. Kolasah. Vishadi dirghasutri cha. Karta tamasa uchyate. So these are the three kinds of karta. We already know most of this because it's not very different from the karma. Mukta sangaha. And then if you look at the, what is that? If we look at that one, there also it was just this mukta sangaha. And what else? Anaham vadi. Mukta sangaha, free of attachment to the karma and the karma phala. We have to take. Anaham vadi, free of ahankara. And then dhriti utsaha samanvitaha. Dhriti means perseverance. Perseverance is called dhriti, the ability to carry something through. Just because some small obstacle comes, the person does not leave. The person has the dhriti. And utsaha. Utsaha means enthusiasm. Utsaha and dhriti together, very good combination. Samanvitaha, endowed with. And then what else? Siddhya siddhyo nirvikaraha. Nirvikaraha means no change, unchanging. When? Siddhi, siddhau and asiddhau. Siddhya siddhau. Siddhi, success. Asiddhi, failure, the opposite of that. So in failure and in success, there is a certain equanimity. Where have we heard this before? Chapter 2. Samatvam yogaha uchyate. Very good. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Labha labhau jaya jayau. Everything. In labha and alabha. In jaya, victory, and then ajaya, parajaya, in defeat. Victory, defeat, these are all opposites. Sukha, dukkha, we can add. Sukha, dukkha, victory, defeat. Shita, ushna, hot and cold. Victory and defeat. And then mana, apamana, like this. So in all these pairs of opposites, the person is more or less the same. Doesn't have to be like a tree stump. Okay? Doesn't matter if it snows or rains or if it is hot. It will be the same. That's not the idea. Has the ability to have the a certain space, inner space. The ability to have inner space is there and not be overpowered. Siddhi and asiddhi includes everything. Loss and gain. And then failure, success. Defeat, victory. Why? Because everything does not go our way. This is just a reminder of that. So in other words, the person who is a sattvika karta is basically what? Karma yogi. Ahankara is not there. Why? Given everything to Bhagavan. You direct me, you are the doer, I am not the doer. Given everything to Bhagavan, Ahankara is not there. Free. And then Mukta Sangaha. So therefore, the attachment to the outcome is not there. Because whatever comes is what? Prasada. It's a prasada buddhi. So no problem, let it come. Whatever comes, let it come. And sometimes it is Neem leaves, yes. And sometimes it is jaggery. So that's why for New Year we mix the two and eat. So let me be able to have this siddhi and asiddhi together. For New Year you eat neem leaves and crushed with jaggery, and that's what you eat to give that equanimity. So, you had a question? No. So that is a sattvika person who is able to, who has cultivated that. It doesn't come naturally, because naturally what comes? Anger comes. Swabhavika. Why did this happen to me? Why me? So this is cultivated over time. The sattvika, sattva guna is cultivated, and it has a certain kind of a peacefulness and a kind of a mental tranquility with regard to all the pairs of opposites, because things do not go our way. Really speaking, the definition of karma yoga is this: we cannot always do what we like. Therefore, we learn to like whatever we have to do. This is karma yoga. This is a one-line definition. I can't always do as I like. What other option I have? Therefore, I learn to like whatever I have to do. I have to learn to like. And so, this is a sattvika karta who is a karma yogi. Rajasic, little, difficult. Ragi, eats ragi, right? No? What is ragi? Raga, asya asti iti ragin. The one who is in raga includes dvesha also, okay? Ragi. And then karma phala prepsuhu. Karma phala prepsuhu means looking like a hawk for what? Karma phala. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? When is it going to come? I did my work. Okay, I need it now. Karma phala prepsuhu. And then what's the other word? Lubdha something. So this thing, the lubdha means lubdha means deluded. Lubdha, deluded. And because deluded by what? Greed. Deluded by avarice. Avarice is very deluding. First you just think, I'll just have a little more. And then after that what? Little more. So totally hijacked or eclipsed or deluded by this thing, avarice, greed. Himsatmakaha means whatever the person undertakes, he causes great effort, great pains to himself, herself, and to the others. Is a, taskmaster. So you have such a person as a, PT teacher. Finished. I remember long back, I had such a person as a PT teacher. We were all so afraid. And we were all tiny, small. And then the person would make us tired out. Because just up, down, this, that. So, there's a kind of a, taskmaster. You don't ever let go. Because if you let go, then you get low. That's why you don't let go. That's the thing. If you let go, what will happen? You will feel low. You will get low. That's why you keep your spirits up by just sort of taking everything, just like whipping yourself in shape and whipping everyone else also in shape. So himsatmakaha. And then finally what? Ashuchihi. Slightly dirty. No, they not physically, internal ashuchi. Ashuchi doesn't mean, impurity. We don't take it literally. Ragadvesha. Presence of ragadvesha. That is what is the ashuchi. Nothing else. Presence of ragadvesha. And then harsha shokanvitaha. Harsha shokanvitaha means 1 minute ecstasy, another minute agony, another minute woohoo, yippee, and then very next second The person, you don't know what to do with this person. And so they are not able to, the emotions naturally in such a person are dysregulated. They have inability, they have difficulty in regulating the emotions. Doesn't mean you have to be stoic. I am a sattvic karta, so I am very stoic. And so the person says, you have won a lottery. Your spouse just died. Same. Okay? That's not what we expect. But when one hits the ceiling with a certain force, then what happens? You have a long way to come down. And so if you keep bouncing like a ball, ecstasy, agony, no wonder you are tired. No wonder there is ayasa. No wonder there is himsatmaka. Then Svachakarta naturally gets the title of what? Rajasika. Then next one, the next one is what? Ayuktaha. No discipline. Undisciplined. Prakritaha, whose buddhi is grazing in some uncivilized age. So that is uncivilized buddhi. The buddhi is belonging to some other, what should I say? Maybe this buddhi this person has looks good on a lion or a tiger or any other beast, but not in a human being. That this is called prakrita buddhi. Prakritehe iyam prakritam. Born of Prakriti. These are all ideal types. Nobody is like this. Okay? Yeah. So when these kinds of things come, people think, oh, does this apply to me? No, it doesn't apply to you. Okay? Otherwise we won't be here studying this. Yeah, it doesn't apply to anybody. These are all ideal types. We just sort of look at them and see that there is a very large continuum. And the Gita is not targeting anybody. So there is a very large continuum of action, and what we are looking at is the extremes of this continuum. People generally fall somewhere in the middle. Okay, so this is the complete gone case, the tamasa karta. And what is this gone case? So what are all the ingredients here? Ayuktaha, prakritaha means raised by wolves. So because it is just like bestial. Prakritaha, best translated as bestial, belonging to beasts. Looks good on a beast, but not on a human being. And then prakritaha means uncultured, uncivilized buddhi. Stabdhaha. Stabdhaha means unbending, inflexible. And then shataha. Shataha means fraudulent. And then naishkritikaha. Naishkritikaha means who is cruel. What was that? Huh? Disputes? I don't know about disputes, but cruel, deceptive, fraudulent, and mean, very mean. Does not really take into consideration other people's feelings when they are doing the action. And then lazy, indolent, doesn't know when to do, when not to do, how not to do. That kind of viveka is not there. And then vishadi, depressed, sad. Sad means what? Not doing anything about the sadness, continuing to be sad. And then, therefore, dirgha sutri. See, the Gita was so astute. Procrastinator, dirgha sutri. What needs to be done now, does it next year. Yeah. Because at least, I'll do it. When? We'll see. And so everything is like that, pushed off. Somebody asked Pujya Swamiji, when should I how should I overcome procrastination? He gave a 2-hour talk on that. And the practical tip at the end was, do what you do not like first. And then after that, save as a reward all the things that you do like. That was the practical tip he gave at the end. So Vishadi Dirgha Sutri, that karta is called what? Tamasaha iti uchyate. There are not much to say. These are all, as I said, ideal types. Now he is going to do two other distinctions in the next 3 verses. And then what is that? Buddhi. Buddhi means intellect. What is the Sattvika Buddhi like? What is a Rajasic Buddhi like? What is a Tamasic Buddhi like? He is going to talk about. And the second thing he is going to talk about is Dhriti. What did I say Dhriti was? Perseverance. Perseverance is based on what? Free will. So Buddhi and free will, we can take these two. How is the Sattvika Buddhi, Sattvika free will, Rajasika Buddhi, Rajasika free will, and then Tamasika Buddhi, and then Tamasika free will. What does that look like? Let us just do the taste to get a little appetizer of the first one. Buddher bhedam dhriteschaiva. Gunastrividham shrinu. Prochyamanamasheshena. Prithaktvena dhananjaya. O Arjuna, O Dhananjaya, please listen to these threefold distinctions based on the gunas of buddhi, the intellect, and then what else? The resolve, free will, based on the 3 gunas. Prochyamanam, that which I am going to tell. How? Prithaktvena, in 2 ways I am going to unfold them. I am going to tell them distinctly, and then asheshena, I am going to tell you without leaving anything out at all. Completely I am going to tell. And so the first one, buddhi. Pravrittincha nivrittincha. Karya karye bhaya bhaye. Bandham mokshancha ya veti. Buddhissa partha sattviki. Some beautiful verses are going to come. This one is the most beautiful of them all. Very nice one. This really sums up all the qualifications that we have been looking at. So, that buddhi, sa buddhi, buddhi being feminine, that's why it is not sattvika, sattviki. Sattviki buddhi sa uchyate, which is that buddhi which knows the difference between 3 things. Thing number 1, pravritti and nivritti, aka preyas and shreyas, and then karya and akarya. Second set of things, that which is to be done, karya, akarya, that which is never to be done, and then bhaya, that which is the source of insecurity. Bhaya, we should not take it as fear, but more as insecurity, that which is the source of insecurity, and then abhaya. What is abhaya? Security. These three things, the one that knows clearly is called Sattvika Buddhi. So these are first of all pravritti and nivritti. We can even take it in a empirical sense. Pravritti means engagement. Nivritti means what? withdrawal. We can take it even on the empirical sense. So many times one is confused, should I engage or should I withdraw? Is this a time to engage or is this the time to go away from this? It is not clear, right? And so the buddhi that has that clarity, when to engage. When to engage, when somebody is ready to listen to you, then you engage. If they are not ready to listen, better to leave it alone. And so that is the on the everyday level. Then in the Shastra, pravritti nivritti has technical meanings. What are they? Pravritti marga is the marga of prayas. What is prayas? Pray for us. That's what we have to say. If we choose prayas, we have to tell people, please pray for us. So prayas means material benefits and material goals to the exclusion of spiritual goals. Not that, I'm a karma yogi and I'm pursuing them side by side. No. Here it is solely material goals. That's why I said pray for us. Because where is that going to end? That's all. We know that. So then that is called pravritti marga. These are technical terms in the Shastra. We have come across it. And nivritti marga means the pursuit of moksha. Nivritti marga. So the buddhi that knows the difference. What will I get out of pravritti? Pariksha lokan karmachitan nirvedam ayat nasti akritah kritena. Meaning the person has done pariksha. Pariksha means has done a thorough, analysis. Pariksha, examination. Of what? Of everything. Lokan. What can pravritti give me? That person has seen. What can nivritti give me? What can pravritti give me? The person has totally understood. And then come to the conclusion that nasti akritah kritena. Kritena karmana, by actions that are done, akritam brahma na. The uncreated Brahman can never be gained through the manufactured or produced karma. The unproduced Brahman, that is the problem. So what can action give me? Action can only give me that which is produced. The unproduced, that which is not a product, that which is myself alone, the limitless whole Brahman, that action cannot give. So this pravritti marga has its limitations. And then what is nivritti marga? That is myself alone. And so that is something to choose. Which to choose, when to choose, how to choose. Supposing I know what the difference between, I have a buddhi, let's say, that knows the difference between pravritti and nivritti marga. But then I choose nivritti marga, and even knowing I'm not ready for it yet. That's not a sattvika buddhi. I know when to choose nivritti, when to stay in pravritti, when to do this, when to do that, or when to choose this. I have the buddhi that has a clear idea is sattviki. Then the second pair, karya and akarya. Certain things are never to be done. And so one naturally, out of respect for dharma and the society, one refrains from doing what is not to be done and one does what is to be done. Karya and akarya. Then finally, bhaya and abhaya. What is the source of my insecurity? How to overcome insecurity? Bhaya means insecurity. So what should I do? And can getting a job overcome insecurity? And can getting a dog overcome insecurity? Can getting, having children overcome insecurity? All these things, the buddhi, that which is able to contemplate and see the limitations of each and everything. And knowing the limitations comes to the conclusion that the abhaya karanam is myself alone. I am the source of security which I have to seek. The one that comes back to that resolve is the Satviki Buddhi. Very beautiful. More we'll see when tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.